What's up, Graham Gang?
It's your girl Jordan
and Mella.
And we are back with another video. Thank you guys so much for watching our last video, and make sure you are subscribed to our channel. Make sure you follow us on social media because we always on there. And we are going to go ahead and jump into this video. I believe we have been asked this question a lot, and as you can tell by the title, it is our coming out stories. Who we came out to, what happened, how old we were, you know, all of that juicy detail. So yeah, a lot of you guys want to know, and we are going to tell you what our experiences was with that. And
I'll go first.
Yes, tell them.
Okay, so my coming out story, I don't even like to talk about much because my coming out was not a good story. I was, let's see, how old are you when you're like in the 10th, 11th grade? I was about 16, 17, 16, 17, somewhere around that age. And the first person that I told was my big sister, Sasha. She was the first one I told about it. And I can't remember her reaction, but it was a positive one. Like, I was happy the first person I decided to tell, it was a positive reaction, because it was really scary for me because I grew up in a household that was pretty strict Christian household. So I always thought being gay was like the wrong thing, but throughout my years growing up, I always did have thoughts about what it's like to be with a girl. But with my belief, I didn't think the two of them tied together with each other. So when I did tell her, it was good. She asked a bunch of questions. I remember that. She asked a ton of questions, but she was like, you can talk to me about it anytime. Don't be afraid to, you know, tell me what's going on with your life. So the reason I brought it up to her is because I had started liking this girl who initially, this girl from school who liked me first. And she was like, are you into girls? And I was like, no, you know, just lying. Like, yeah, lying, but, you know, it was like, no. And then slowly, like, I was like, but I could be a friend though. So we were just like friends, and then slowly over time, I start like not controlling the fact that I liked her back. So eventually we started dating, and it was so scary for me that I didn't know how to tell people. I didn't know how to go about the situation. So I told my sister first, and she was very supportive about it. And then the next person I told, because I felt a little more comfortable, so I told my godmom, which during the time, she was so close to me. Like, we were so close, and we still are to this day. But I felt like I wanted to tell her before I told my parents, because I lived with my dad and my stepmom, and they were pretty strict, and I didn't know how it was gonna turn out. So I told her. She cried about it. She's like, I always knew, you know, from the time you were 2 years old. I was like,
oh,
huh?
Wow.
Yeah, she was like, from the time I was 2. She was, I was sitting there, and she's just like, nothing you did, but the thought. She said the thought just like, it flashed in her head that might be the case. But if you see pictures of me when I was younger, I mean, it was kind of there. You know, I like to dress up in my brother's clothes. I like to wear baggy stuff. I didn't like to play with dolls. I drew on my dresses. So, you know, was my personality. So, moving forward, I'm dating this girl. I'm like sneaking around, trying to spend time with her, because I did not want to get caught, you know. And not only dating, but then like it's a girl on top of that. So one day I remember on our way to church, I know my stepmom asked me, she was like, are you gay? Yeah, and the first thing I thought was like, no. So no, I'm sitting here like, no. Like, I'm not dating boys or nothing, but I'm just like, I'm not, telling her about this girl either. So I'm like lying, pretty much, no. And I feel like it's something they seen in my behavior or something that they were picking up on, because the next thing you know, I'm sitting down with the pastor for him to talk to me. And, I'm in his office and he's talking to me. He's like, have you ever had thoughts about, homosexuality is how he said it. And I'm like, yeah. And he's talking to me about it. He's like, that's a sin, right? And, telling me stuff like that. And actually having a one-on-one with him, and I'm just like actually crying, because I'm like, I don't know how to control it. I tried to pray about it, Pastor, but it's not working. Like, I'm struggling pretty much. I said it in a high school way, however I would put it back then. But he was like, he felt like it was a good talk that we had, and he talked to my parents about what we talked about. And the next thing you know, I am probably that same week going to see a conversion counselor. And at the time, I didn't know what this like therapy was supposed to do. I didn't know. I'm thinking, okay, I'm about to go here and just be delivered of being gay, so I don't have to deal with it no more, because being gay for me was not fun during that time. It was like stressful, and I was like trying to get the gay away, because the way that they were going on about it was starting to make me feel like I did not like myself. So I'm going to a conversion counselor. I cannot remember her name. I just know it was a white woman that the pastor happened to be friends with. And I was going to see her, I think it was once or twice a week. And it was pretty much told to me, like, if I couldn't change, then I was gonna have to be removed from the house. They're gonna kick me out the house, because they didn't want that spirit getting on my younger brother and my sister. So the agreement was, I'm going to be going to conversion counseling and pretty much, I don't know, what, therapy my gay away. So I'm going to this counselor, and she's talking to me about how she used to be into women. She dated a woman. I think she was married, or it was a marriage at the time, because you couldn't get married, but whatever that was, she, I believe, was in one of those. And she was like pretty much telling me her story, listening to my story, telling me that I can overcome it, and that she thinks about it every day. She pretty much chooses every day to go with God and what the Bible says versus being with a woman. So here I am, like, trying to do that, and it made me miserable, because like, you're trying to escape yourself. How do you really escape yourself? So that was my first time actually contemplating suicide, because I could not get around the fact that I could not help liking girls. It just felt natural to me. The first girl I dated, it felt right to me, versus like dating guys did not feel right to me. So yeah, they pretty much sent me to counseling. They would ask me, is it working? I would tell them yes, the counseling was working. Like, I feel like I'm not having those feelings anymore, pretty much. So I'm lying, pretty much, to have a home, because like, I'm not trying to get kicked out. So I'm lying to them. And this was up until I graduated school. So this was like 2 years, maybe 2.5 years, just keeping up a facade. And then when I finally was able to leave, I left for the military. And I got away, and that's where I found myself, and I like found my true happiness was leaving and I don't know, learning to love myself. So, you know, that's where I'm at with that right now. I have my wife, I have my kids, so I'm pretty happy. But I don't like talking about my coming out story because it just reminded me of like the toughest time in my life and being in that place of not wanting to be here no more because of how other people were making me feel. So, yeah, I think.
But you finally did come out and tell them?
I told them.
And this was when you came home for your first visit from the military, right?
I told them while I was in the military. I told my real mom, I told her while I was also in the military. And she was like, oh, child, you got me worried. You know, I knew that already. I knew that from the time you was a little girl. So, you know, she was like pretty understanding, but I had got the reaction so bad from, you know, my dad that I thought that everybody was just gonna be reacting bad, even though my first two people I told were so open-armed, but the way that they went about it scared me to the point where I didn't know how anybody was gonna react. So I told my mom, and she was like, if that's what you gotta tell me, then, oh, that's fine. Like, she just was not happy, but she thought it was something, you know, that she should be worried about. And she's like, oh, that child, that's nothing to worry about. I already knew that. So, you know, them, I actually told while I was in the military in Missouri. And when I went back on leave to visit them one time, it was like pretty much, if I can't change, then don't come back to their house. So I left and I ain't come back for years. It took years. I can't remember how many years, but I stayed away when I wasn't, Yeah, when Jordan met me, we wasn't talking because they told me not to come back until I changed, and I didn't plan on changing, so I didn't plan on going back. But we mended, you know, we've mended it now to where we agree to disagree on it, and we don't let it come between us like it did before. So, yeah. I mean, it's a lot, but did I leave out anything important?
I don't know. There was some stuff I felt like I never heard before, but
yeah, my first girlfriend, she sucked. So, you know, that's not what this was.
That's not what this is about.
But
yeah, just the people that you told. So
yeah, I came out, and some support, some not. That's how it worked out for me. Not a good coming out story though.
Yeah. Well,
what's yours?
Mine is, I guess, is kind of as dramatic as yours because it's not good, but dang, yours made me emotional. I'm not gonna lie, I was trying not to cry because I hate what she went through. I hate what I went through. So mine, I was definitely like way out of high school. And, you know, I wasn't like her where I knew for years that I was like gay. I had thoughts about women. You know, it was not until I met her, it was like, you know, this is the person I want to be with. I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't care what anybody says. I've always been that type of person to never care what anybody has to say about me, because I can't live my life based off of what other people think I should be doing. I'm not doing anything hurtful. I'm not doing anything illegal. And I'm happy. Why can't I just, you know, be happy? So the first person I told was my best friend. We went to lunch together, and her and I just laughed about it. I was like, I met somebody and I really like them, but it's a girl. And she was shocked, of course, because I had just gotten out of a relationship, and it was, you know, not a good relationship. But that wasn't the reason why I got with
a
Mella.
guy.
Yeah, with a guy. But that wasn't the reason why I got with Mella. I was like truly loved her. It had nothing to do with
our story.
Being upset about no man. So she and I laughed about it. I showed her pictures and I was like, I want you to meet her. I avoided for a while, like kind of telling people, because I wasn't, not because I was ashamed, but because, you know, it was just kind of like whatever to me. Like, no matter what they say, I'm not going to care. So, you know, it's like, I didn't feel the need to rush to that conversation. But we were very open on social media. Like, I would post her all the time. She would post me. We'd be following each other. And I was really close with, at the time, people who I thought was my family. And I'd always been close with them. They had always been, you know, there for me. I wouldn't say the most supportive, but they were always there for me. There's a difference, I feel like, between being there for somebody and supportive. I felt like once this had happened, it was like their way of like, just, you could tell there was no support there. One day I was over at their house, and I don't know how to like explain her role, but she just asked me, like, she was kind of at the time like a mother figure, and he was kind of like a father figure at the time. I've known them since I was like, you know, in high school. So she just kind of asked me, like, are you dating this girl? We saw her on Facebook. And I was like, yeah, we're dating. And I just kind of left it at that. And then I went like to go see Mella, and she's like, I think you should have like a, you know, real conversation and tell them, you know, that this is serious, blah, blah, blah. So I did. I sat with him. I was nervous. I didn't think I would be nervous, but I was really nervous, just because I never feel the need to explain my relationships with anybody. But I felt like because they had been there for me, like, and I knew they were religious, like, I'm just going to say that. And I'm not going to let anything that they say persuade me other way. So I told them. They pretty much was like, well, you know where we stand with that. We don't believe in that. And we think she's manipulating you. I remember they said that?
Yeah,
we think she's manipulating you. And I was like, no, I came onto her. I wanted her. I wanted to be with her. It's not the other way around. And they said she looks like the type to do that to me. And I was like, I was offended, because I'm like, you think I'm dumb or something? Like, no. So, we left it at that. Everything was good. They end up telling my mom before I could tell her. I don't remember how, but I remember they told my mom, and I ended up telling my brother, and he was like, oh, that's cool, you know, like, you know, it's whatever. I love you no matter what, as long as you're happy. Mom already knows because they told her. And I was like, okay, that's kind of weird, but that should have been like my first red flag about them. So they like already told her, like, as if they were gossiping about me. At the time, I think I was like 25, grown. So, you know, my mom said the same thing. She loves me. She supports me no matter what. But her and I never had like the closest relationship. But my mom has always been supportive. She may not have been always there for me, but she's always been supportive, like, of whatever I wanted to do or my life, whatever. So we left it at that. They were welcoming Tamela. They were inviting her over. At this time, she had met everybody in my family.
When you say they, you mean who?
These people. So they had been like inviting us over. I think he went over for a holiday. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was for birthdays. I went
birthdays.
to their house for birthdays.
Yes, everything. Even she went away to Italy, and they were like, bring me back something. Bye, have a good time. They hugged her, walked her out to the car. Like, everything was perfect until we decided we're getting married.
Oh, yeah.
And it just went downhill from there. It was the worst experience of like betrayal I've ever been through. You know, things just, I felt like they were literally trying to sabotage our wedding. Like, and I don't like to be disrespectful to people who have been there for me. And I felt like, you know, we had already, before I even knew Mella, they had already, you know, kind of been a certain way towards me about some stuff, and I just kind of let it go, because I was like, okay, let me be respectful, because, you know, they're there for me, and I lived with them for a while of my life until I graduated high school. Even after high school, moving back in with them, and I had nowhere to go. So up until that point, I'd always been respectful to them until the wedding happened. And I remember on the phone with, you know, the dad, and I was telling him, like, you know, he was trying to tell me how much of a sin it was and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, well, your real kids, they be sinning all the time, but I'm the worst one. Like, I'm this bad. And, you know, I really don't care what you have to say. I just remember like yelling in the car on our way. Remember, we were on our way to go look at the venue. Mm-hmm. And I was just hysterically crying. I was so upset. But like, I was upset that they waited until this time to like show their true devilish feelings. And, you know, I just couldn't even go in and look at the venue. I was so upset. And then leading up to the wedding, it was so much drama. Yeah, you know, them just having all these negative things to say, lying. They even reached out to my mom again and tried to get my mom to side with them. And I pretty much called my mom and she's like, well, they're saying this and they're saying that. And, you know, I didn't grow up with that type of lifestyle being okay. And I was like, well, you either support me or you don't. You don't have to believe in what, you know, I believe in, but, you know, I don't want any man in my wedding who does not support me and Mella being married. So you need to decide that before this wedding. Hey, baby. And she decided to, because my mom's always supported me. No matter what bad decision I made, she has supported me. And yeah, so we you know, ended up getting married. It was so much drama circulated around our wedding. It was very upsetting, and and still to this day they will almost harass us, like, you know, trying to find out this and that about us or say all these negative things. And we're still here, we're still in love, we're still happy, we're still together forever. We're still doing perfectly fine. And, you know, I can't say that much about their family, but, you know, I will, you know, that's a situation that I can never forgive. You know, Mella is, you know, different. Her family dynamic is different between, you know, her and her father and her stepmom, which is wonderful. But this was like, you know, the biggest, you know, stab in the heart for me. And it's something that I just can't ever get past because of the negative things I've heard being said and talked about. And, you know, it's just, I don't need you in my life if you don't support us, you don't love us, you don't care. That's not something that we need. We don't like negativity. So anybody who brings negativity, whether it be about people who are against gay people or people who are against Black people, mixed people, you know, orange people, white people, and you bring that over to us, we want nothing to do with it. That's just, you know, who we are as individuals and, you know, as a family. This is so tacky. And just get this cereal box on somewhere. So yeah, it was a traumatic situation, and yeah, that's pretty much what happened to me. But yeah, it was bad. You know, I feel that a lot of people, and I want to say this not about us, but you know, if you are somebody who's struggling to come out, you know, I just suggest you know, finding that one person that is your safe person, somebody that you know loves you unconditional, because unconditional love is, they love you no matter what you do, you know, no matter who you love. And you know, that people like them have conditions on their love, and if you don't do what they say, they don't love you. And it's like, I'm still the same person, and we could have been this, you know, cool still to this day, but you chose to be like this. But yeah, definitely reach out to somebody. Try to talk to somebody who's close to you. I know it's not the easiest thing. I know it's not the easiest thing, especially when you are a young age and you're in high school or middle school, and you know, you're so afraid
I just feel like if you want to come out, come the fuck out.
Yeah, that's true.
Because one, you're gonna feel so much better about it. You're gonna be, I feel like, more at peace with yourself.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like people who have to hide who they are, it makes me so sad. Like gay people who have to hide who they are.
I tried it.
Trans people who have to
makes
pretend.
You miserable.
Yeah, and like not being yourself. You know, like I'm my happiest. I get to be my full self. Back whenever I was family with them, I was not myself. I was not happy. I was miserable all the time, and I just never spoke on it or said anything to them. Even the times before I knew her, I was miserable. So now it's like I can be myself. I can be free to be who I want to be. She can be free to be who she wants to be. And we're just as happy as can be being ourselves.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want it any other way. I'm perfectly fine. So.
Yeah, what sucks is like what you went through with them is it was like I got to on a smaller scale, but I got to experience like the whole thing all over again because I was with her when it all happened. So it was like, damn, okay. But by this time, my whole thought process on it was like, if you don't love me, you don't love me. So
but never once did it make me like, oh my God, I don't want to be with her. Am I doing the right thing? Am I this? Never.
Yeah, you never question.
I never felt like, am I doing the right thing? Is being with a woman something I really want forever? I knew from the moment I met her that I want to be with her forever. So that's that. But
so that's our coming out. Overall, would you say yours was a positive or a negative overall?
Yeah, it was definitely the
like
negative, I guess. But
did you have more people support you than that did?
Yeah, I guess. Anybody who never did was like, you're done to me. Like, so the only people that, you know, made the biggest deal of it were them. And, you know, now they don't matter. But
for me, I would say mine was a negative. But more people did support me than that didn't. So that brought a lot of positive to it. But, yeah, but now it's like, whatever. You don't like it, you don't like it.
Exactly.
I got two middle fingers for you.
We can't live for other people, and you know they're not in our house paying our bills or doing anything for us. So
tell me.
Good.
All right. So before we go, that's our coming out stories.
Yes.
Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed it, and tell them about your new channel.
Yes, so I'm going to be starting my own channel. We're still going to continue doing Jordan Loves Graham, but I am starting my own YouTube channel that's going to be about hair and makeup and shopping and fashion and vlogs and stuff, where you guys get to really see like my personality and really get to see the stuff that I'm passionate about. The channel is called Jordan Finesse. I feel like I am a finessa, a fly dresser, and I can't wait to show you guys this channel. Pretty soon I will share the link with everybody. Follow me on social media so you can see when the channel first drops, so you can subscribe to your girl, Jordan the Finessa. Thank you.
All right, y'all. We'll see y'all in the next video.
Bye.